Hey, this is Colin with Why Not Make, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about maybe what to do when you find one of these guys in your, your grandpa's garage. Or I'm just kidding, because I hope it's not in your grandpa's garage, because that means you're like 2 years old. But what I would like to say is these old boom boxes, of course they have a sentimental value to a lot of us that kind of grew up in the era, but they have a lot of potential to continue to be used. And so today I thought what I would do is give you guys a little bit of an explanation of when I buy one of these or find one in a sale or something, kind of what I look at, how I get it working, and then kind of what I do with it after that. So if I just stumble across a boombox in a garage sale or something, which I do occasionally have that happen, but it's pretty rare to find like a cool boombox in the wild. What I personally do to have the most luck acquiring them, because I don't buy them on eBay. I did at the very beginning, probably about 3 or 4 years ago. I just kind of like was curious and I bought some of the broken ones. I don't buy them, I sell them on eBay now, a decent amount of them, but what I found that worked for me was finding somebody that actually was already, going to all these estate sales and everything. And so now there's a guy in my town next to me that I basically meet up with a few times a year, and I just buy all the boom boxes that he bought when he was like doing all these sales. He just buys them, and then I buy them for probably twice as much as what he pays for them, but it means that I still only pay about, $10 or maybe $15 for a boombox. So what I have been doing with them is usually if I buy like 15 of them at a time, I can sell the nicest 2 of them and pay for all of them. So that's kind of what I do. If you're trying to, have a hobby or something, if it's this, great, but if it's not, and you're trying to maybe develop some kind of collection, that's a great way to do it, because you can do it with really no actual costs. You can just, buy a bunch of them and sell the nicest couple, and if it can pay for everything, then you're golden. So, but if I do find something, the first thing I'm going to do is actually clean it up. So, I haven't done that yet. It has just a patina of dirt and dust on it, and I'm not like a germaphobe, but like I'm handling it with my bare hands, but yeah, it's so gross. These things are just, this is not the example of all of them, but they are, it's across the board what you'll find. So this one just looks like, if I had to describe it, I would say it was in a tornado. Obviously it didn't get thrown. It's not completely broke, so it's not broken. It's got some tape on the plastic here, which, that may be hard to get off, because if I use like Goo Gone or something, it may eat into this plastic. I have some kind of break there. I have some tape, and I've got just paint here. I've got just dirt on the top, a little bit of paint on the back, and maybe some medical tape or something. It looks like maybe it's a weird type of tape. So then we got the antenna. Now, usually they're not so dirty, but you're gonna want to inspect it. That is nice. So this is the top of this one. What do we got? Just dirty, so just filthy dirty. Normally, what I'm gonna do is like take with gloves on, because I feel like when it's wet, it's gonna be so much grosser. But I'm gonna take some gloves, put them on, and then just like take a microfiber and some like dish soap and water and wring it out, and then just wipe it down, just like mop this thing, like without getting water really all over it. So just take my time, just break through this layer of disgusting filth, and then see what's underneath, which is probably going to be the same boombox. And the next step is actually figuring out if it works. Some people might say that's the first step, and they have a good argument there. I'm personally a clean it up first kind of person, because I can't even test it and go through the motions without having it like look good, which for this video I'm not going to have that happen, because I'm not going to clean it here because I don't have running water in my shop. But since we're not cleaning it right this second, I'm just going to go on to the second step, which is after you've kind of cleaned it off, safety. It's a weird thing to say, right? But here's what I'll say. You're buying this thing from a stranger, if you're buying it. If you already had it, maybe you inherited it from a stranger. But safety. So what I mean by safety is just take a second. It takes just 10 seconds to pause and think, is there something dumb I'm about to do? And so I try to do that maybe 3 times per project. Just before I'm going on to the next phase, just stop and think, is this dumb? You're gonna look and make sure the cord isn't cut or shredded or just like 2 wires sticking out of the prongs, because I tell you what, people did not take care of their stuff and you just bought it from them, and you're just gonna trust that they didn't just do some craziness and you're gonna plug it in the wall. No, you're gonna check for safety. So we did our safety check. I like to think that the safety check also had to do with cleaning it, because I feel like this thing's gonna give me kind of maybe like, I don't even know what diseases are out there, but I feel like I have them now. So now we're on to like, let's see if this thing sounds good or does music or what we're all here for. Maybe you should have done this first, but you know, I don't feel like that. I gotta go through my motions. Anyway, so we're actually thinking about how does this thing play and how does it sound and what works. So we're gonna do what I usually do, which is to, you know, we did our safety check. And most boomboxes are gonna come with maybe a cord. If it's missing the cord because it's old and somebody lost a cord, generally these are gonna be AC, like alternating current cords, and there's going to be internal rectifier in here. So most of these are not going to have polarity on the actual plug. If it fits in, it gets in. But if it doesn't fit in, don't make it fit in, because maybe that cord had some kind of polarity. And plug it in. I didn't even do what I was supposed to do, which was to tell you this is the next important step, and that is to, before you plug it in or turn it on, just figure out where the volume is and turn it down and make the settings like normal, because you will plug it in or put the batteries in or do something and it'll be cranked full blast on, you know, just, you know, this thing hasn't been even used in a while. Let's just give it a, you know, a little warm up, or just a, you know, a chance to breathe before we ask it to scream. So this is a General Electric model number 35252B, in case you're wondering. And let's just see what works. I got the radio on. I'm going to turn the volume up. I mean, these things will these things will survive well beyond us. So that's the radio works, and the radio generally, unless something's really wrong, the radio will work. It will likely be staticky when you adjust the volume knob if it hasn't been used in a long time, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about what to do with that. But the radio is going to work, and in this case the radio sounds great, but let's try the tape deck actually. Now there's already a tape in it. My advice is to not use a tape that you ever have a desire to listen to again, because there's a 90% chance that you're going to destroy it. Alright, so hit play, and what do I hear? I hear something. I hear kind of a new tone out of the tape deck. And what that is the motor of the tape motor driver basically spinning. That motor's spinning, but the belts that that are connected to it are going to be either complete garbage, black tar, or they're going to be all stretchy, loosey-goosey. Either way, it's just horrible to have to deal with this. So if you take off the back, which is going to be the next step anyway, because when you have, that static, when you're adjusting the volume, or sometimes you'll actually even have it where you turn it to a function and you don't hear anything because the knob, what is behind this inside the boombox is a bigger, what you would consider kind of a knob, and that is basically a potentiometer, which means that it's kind of a variable resistor, or just going to move a signal from one side to the other with like actual parts dragging against each other. So those parts, as small as they are, they can get a tiny bit of dirt or a tiny bit of grime that builds up, really affects that. It can keep the signal from passing or change what it's reading out on its internal wiring. So thanks for watching Why Not Make, and we will bring you amazing projects in just a few short days. So you hold on tight and we'll see you soon.